Kyle, you're up. Yeah, you. Oh, you think I wasn't going to talk about you? You thought I was going to let you off today? Really? Look, Kyle, I know you don't like me, okay? I know you don't like anyone who criticizes you. And I know you don't like anyone, especially in the media, or really anyone, who tells you what to do or acts like they know better than you do about football or anything, particularly football. That's what, I mean, ipso facto, you're not a fan of me. Fine. I'm a big fan of you, though, and I'm here to help. And what you're going to hear today is stuff you're not going to want to hear, but you got to. So just sit there and listen, all right? Ronnie Bell, you're not playing him enough. We need more Ronnie Bell. We need more Ronnie Bell. Like, he had 2 drops and one of them cost you the game. You know why he had 2 drops? Because he didn't give him 10 targets. If you give him 10 targets, he only drops 5. And then maybe he catches 5. We need more Ronnie Bell. What are you thinking, Kyle? Here's my thing with you, dude. You're always right. But sometimes you don't trust your gut. And you see a wide receiver who's never done anything in the league ever and has just only dropped passes, whether it's practice or preseason or regular season. But you tell yourself that the right thing to do is to play him despite all the evidence to the contrary. And then you play him and then he keeps dropping the ball and then you lose your nerve. Don't lose your nerve. If you've decided that you're right about something with no evidence, you're right. Play Ronnie Bell. Jacob Cowing, don't you? Absolutely not. I like that you won't play him. I think that's the right move. Don't play him. He's a rookie. How could you trust a rookie? Ronnie Bell in his second year, that's a guy you can trust. I mean, you know he's going to drop the ball. With Jacob, he might drop it. He might catch it. I can't deal with that kind of uncertainty in life. So I'm with you on that. Do not ever play Jacob Cowing. Not this year, not next year. He's too short. I heard he doesn't brush his teeth. You can't have halitosis in the huddle. It's a deal breaker. It affects the whole team. I heard he doesn't know his blocking assignments if he were to have to be a running back for a day. He doesn't know them. You can't condone that kind of laziness. Devondre Campbell needs to keep playing. Don't listen to people that say he's washed or he's slow or that the Packers were right to get rid of him or that they're way better with. Don't listen to that. If you really watch the film, as I know you do, you can see that his coverage is actually great and his run defense is even better. Keep playing the vet because also he's going to get better as he gets older. As the season goes on and he gets tired and worn down, he's going to get better. So what's important is to keep playing him and don't play it. Never play. Trust your instincts on the young guys. They're not ready. D Winters, not ready. And you don't want to give him reps so he can improve. Don't do that because who's going to improve? The young guy or the old guy? Of course, the old guy. Stick with Campbell. Stick with Yiadom. Oh my God. So he hasn't played so well the first 3 games, but this is what he does. What he's doing is giving the entire NFL a false sense of security. Throw it my way. Throw it my way because I won't ever break up the pass and you'll have a quarterback rating of prime Peyton Manning if you just keep throwing it to me. But it's a setup because week 17, week 18, interception, jumps one route. And that interception is the difference for the whole season. So you got to believe in him, man. You were right. You wanted Isaac Yiadom. You said he'd be good. He's not good yet. That's just actually, no. He has been good. His coverage has been elite. He just has had some bad luck. Stick with him. Oh, and with Jordan Mason, wear him down. Don't get shy now. You have no conscience with it when it comes to just keep feeding him the ball 35 times this week. Who cares? Who cares? Christian's coming back sometime. We just thought he's coming back. Patrick Taylor Jr. is great, but don't use him. Just keep giving the ball to Jordan. And don't trust Brock Purdy, man. Don't let him call his own plays, set protections, change route. Don't let him do anything. Put him in his place. If he looks at you wrong, bench him. Who does he think he is anyway? Doesn't he know that you're the reason he's even starting? I don't like the way he looked at you that one time. You know what I'm talking about. He knows what we're talking about. Next year, he's going to be making $60 million. He's going to be insufferable. Bring him down a peg. No play action the rest of the season. Just drop back. And then blame him after the losses. I don't think you've put enough blame on Brock yet. Then also, what I want to say is like, don't overreact to this Jauan Jennings performance. You were right about Jauan for 5 years. He's a third down option at best. As a guy who doesn't need more than 19 catches a season, like, bury him on the depth chart. Keep forcing the ball to Ayuk and Debo when he comes back. Sobert is a better option than Jennings. This was a one-off. We don't need to see any more. Great one game, but you don't want to be pressured to keep throwing the ball to Jauan Jennings when you know for a fact that Debo and Ayuk are way better, which is why you begged and pleaded for the front office to give them $55 million a year combined. You don't value Jauan Jennings. You're the reason Jennings was so good in that game. Ayuk was an incredible decoy. You're a genius. Forget Jennings. Whatever I think 4 targets this week for Jauan. 4. And even that's pushing it. Like, who does he think he is? You start giving him 10 targets a game, he's going to ask for an extension and held out. And you can't have that. It'll be chaos. Your culture is on the line right now. And Jauan's gonna mess it up, by playing too well. He's too good right now, and you're not budgeted for that. So sit him down, remind him who calls the shots. It's you. Yeah, and then just 20 targets for Brandon Ayuk, just to remind everyone that he is good. I want to say 15 for Ayuk, 10 for Ronnie Bell. 15 for Ayuk, 10 for Ronnie Bell, but if you want to throw in an extra 2, just for fun, I'm with it. And then the leftover, you could give 5 to Jauan Jennings, but what about Juszczyk? How about 8 for Juszczyk? No, but we're going to run it 35 times with Mason, so let's do 10 for Ayuk, 8 for Bell, 6 for Juszczyk, 2 for Jennings. I think that's fair. What has Jennings done to earn more reps? Was he the best player on the offense in the Super Bowl? Is he the only guy stepping up on the offense right now? Bench him. I don't like his attitude. Who does he think he is playing so hard? Trying so hard? Doesn't he understand that this is a Super Bowl hangover year and that the Niners have all the excuses and you're supposed to lean into them for sympathy? Man, it's hard to be sympathetic about a team with the wide receiver who's playing this well. You're supposed to win when you have a guy who goes for 175 yards and 3 touchdowns. How do you lose a game when you have a wide receiver who goes for 175 yards and 3 touchdowns and their top wide receiver is Tutu Atwell? How? How do you do that? So what you do is you don't throw it to Jauan, and then if you lose, it's okay. And no one questions it because you've been burying Jauan for half a decade. It's a tradition. No one questions it. And you're a genius. Finally, give Nick Sorensen an extension right now. That was brilliant. And Staley, my voice went up, and that was so smart. Getting rid of Steve Wilkes, who really was just the entire problem. 17.5 points per game, disgusting. Getting rid of him and bringing in not one guy, but 2 guys who've never worked together and run completely different systems. That was genius. And we're seeing it play out in the field. I mean, not necessarily like statistically, but if you really grind the film, you can see that this is not only a violent and physical defense, but a schematically cutting edge, state of the art unit. And it's because Brandon Staley and Nick Sorensen are 2 of the best defensive minds in this building since George Seifert and Vic Fangio. And it's like having them together on the same unit. It's a cheat code. And you need to pat yourself on the back for it and make sure they stay here because, I mean, Sorensen's clearly going to be a head coach next year and Staley too. And then when you lose them, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? Think ahead. Foresight. Because it was almost too good of a decision. Everyone's looking at you. Everyone's looking for the next Nick Sorensen right now. And you know the best way to get the next Nick Sorensen? Get the only Nick Sorensen. Take Chris Kaceric's money and give it to Nick. No, give Chris Kaceric a raise too. Those two guys? My God. So I hope you don't mind that I just told you what to do. And I'm sure you're going to do the opposite of everything I said. But you heard me, okay? You heard me. I had to say it. What you want to do with all that information, if you want to do the exact opposite of everything I just told you, that's on you. I can't stop you legally. I'm strenuously advocating for you to take my advice. But if you happen to want to do the opposite of everything I said, I can't technically stop you. Thank you for showing up, Kyle. I do appreciate it, everyone who was here.